Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we're going to take a look at the LS2 Subverter helmet available at RevZilla.com. Now, if you're looking at this and you're wondering where the hell does this fall in line in LS2's lineup, this is going to be your top-of-the-line dirt lid from LS2. But their top-of-the-line helmet is going to be an entry-level helmet for the majority of the actual dirt helmet market. So if you're looking at this, it's coming in around the $200 to $220 price point, and you're probably giving it a consideration if you're getting started in the world of dirt because you like the wild, aggressive look. The colors that we have on the table are just a smattering of the available wild graphics that you will see for the Subverter. Now, it is going to be in the solid color around the $200 price point. You do bump to that $220 mark if you want one of the more wild colors. Now, the shell construction on this, as we break down this helmet, is a Kinetic Polymer Alloy. KPA is what they call it, as a fancy word for a polycarb shell. 3 different shell sizes, ranging from the sizes from small up to 2XL. The one note on sizing as we get started with this, I had to size up a size. So traditionally in my Arise, my Shoeies, I am going to be an extra large. I did have to bump to a 2XL to get this to fit me. Once I did that, however, it fit perfectly. Intermediate oval, a little bit longer front to back, narrow down the side of the head. Absolutely fantastic fit from this. The only other note on sizing is that the chin bar is extremely close to my face. So if you know that you have a problem where you feel like chin bars are normally hitting you right in the nose noodle right there, this is not going to be an option for you to consider because it is very close to the front of the face. Now, when we're taking a look at this, it is DOT ECE rated, which means you can use this on the street. So for all you dual sport riders out there that are spending time on the road and off the road, that DOT rating will get you into both segments, 3 pounds, 3 ounces in a small, 3 pounds, 9 ounces in a large. So it is going to be a rather lightweight helmet considering, the price point that this is coming in at. Now, when we are talking about the competition for this, we've talked a lot about the fact that this is going to be that entry-level price point. This is going up against helmets like, the Leatt GPX 4.5 or the Bell MX9. Both are helmets that I've used before, both are helmets that I like. And the reason that we're going to throw this up against here, there's some features that are differing between those. So when you're looking at this compared to the Bell, what you're getting is a helmet that's lighter than the Bell and is more breathable than the Bell. And if you're comparing this against the GPX 4.5, really what you're going to see is a helmet that's pretty well matched, but I think the fit is probably a little bit better on the LS2 than what you're seeing with the Leatt. The Leatt's probably a little bit more round, so if you know that you have a rounder head, that's where the Leatt would probably come in a little bit better for you. But I think for the majority of folks out there looking for that intermediate oval fit, the LS2 just nails it when it comes to the fit. So breaking down some of the other features that you're going to see within this helmet. So the first thing you'll note is the mass amount of ventilation on this helmet. Now, LS2 is claiming 35 vents, but I think they're counting every little single possible vent on here. What you need to know, regardless of the amount of vents, is that there is a tremendous amount of airflow here. Now, the one thing I'll point out as we rip out the inside is that these look like large honeycomb channels, much like you would see with Leatt. The difference is when the Leatt cutouts are done into the shell itself, they're cut all the way through. These are large honeycomb vents that look as large in the top, but when you actually go through the EPS, it funnels down to a little 5mm hole. That being said, you still are getting a lot of airflow with this. Just when we take a look at the inside, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not that same massive cutout that you see on the exterior of the shell. Just taking a look at the profile though, it is going to be that aggressive look, and you're going to see that vent scheme continue all the way to the back. So really the 2 main features that stuck with me for this price point is the fact that it's a rather lightweight lid and you're getting a tremendous amount of venting. Now, eye-port is a very large cutout. You will be able to use this with pretty much any of the goggles out there in the market. And then the peak on this is adjustable. And you'll notice if we take a look at the side, actually this one I have loosened up already. If we take a look, there is actual notches in here. So once you adjust it, it holds into place rather nicely. I know on some helmets you can adjust them, but if that comes just even a little bit loose, the peak starts to move around. So for the fact that this is that entry-level helmet, the little notches in there, just a very simple minor addition, but it does a nice job. With the cutouts as well, one of the things with the peak on this, it doesn't pull back. It gives you a nice amount of airflow through there, so you still get the shading that you're looking for, but it doesn't give you that lift the way you get with some helmets that don't have those channels for the cutouts. Now, as we're taking a look at this, and we're going to flip to the inside to show you what you're going to see in here, the one thing you'll notice that I've removed on our white helmet in the middle is these little things that it gets shipped with. And these are just these little rubber bumpers that you'll see in the box. And you're supposed to remove this before you ride with them. They're just there to protect the helmet in transit. There's gonna be one at the front, and then there's gonna be one at the back that you're gonna wanna pull off as well. These are not meant to be ridden in. So once you get the helmet, you can pull those off and you simply throw them away. You're not gonna need them once you start using the helmet. So taking a look at the inside of this, one of the things you'll note is the crazy graphics that you're going to see with the liner itself. So, if you're someone that is more subdued in your graphics and your colors, this is probably not the helmet for you to consider, because this is going to be wild neon throughout. This is like the, Saved by the Bell 80s graphic of helmets. And as we begin to pull out the interior liner on this, very comfortable liner, by the way, sweat wicking. The thing you'll notice about the inside of the shell on this is that it's going to have a polycarb coating. And pulling out the liner, the one thing to point out with the liner itself is it's going to be brow mounted, so you're not going to have any awkward pressure points. This is something you normally see in a higher quality helmet. The one nitpick that I do have with the liner is that I would have loved to have seen just big cutouts in the liner to allow that airflow through. What they tried to do is they tried to match the cutouts of the liner with where the little cutouts were coming through in the EPS. I think they would have done a better service just to give you massive cutouts along either side. So again, minor nitpick there as we discuss the venting with this. But it is going to be the emergency release cheek pad. So that's something that you would not normally see on some of the lower level helmets. You do get it with the Subverter. Now taking a look at the inside, what you're going to see that's going to set this apart is that the inside of this helmet is going to be coated. It's a polycarb coating, and this allows for rotational moving. So the liner actually works to slip along the inside of this helmet, working to give you low speed rotational impact. Anytime we're looking into the dirt world, traditionally the crashes that you're gonna have are gonna be at a low speed, and there's gonna be some kind of a rotational impact. So we're seeing different manufacturers address this different ways. With LS2, by coating the entire inside of the shell, it allows that entire inside liner to move on a slip plane to reduce those rotational impacts. Now you'll also notice cut into that are those smaller 5mm holes. Now that's what I was talking about from the outside. If you were to look at the inside of something like the Leatt GPX 4.5, you get much larger cutouts. With this, you get more holes coming through than you would with the Leatt, and then you get these channels cut into that plastic liner, which pushes airflow through. So like I said, even though it doesn't look like a lot, you still are getting a massive amount of air. Those little 5mm holes though, I just wanted to point that out so you don't get this and you feel a little bit disappointed that those honeycombs don't cut all the way through. And as you work your way to the back, you can see there are those massive cutouts in the back of the helmet as well, really pushing airflow through from the front to the back. And when you're riding off-road, you know that you overheat, so ventilation is going to be a primary concern for a lot of people. And the fact that you're getting a helmet that vents so well for around that $200 to $220 price point is really the biggest benefit that you're seeing with the LS2, along with that lightweight design, along with the emergency cheek pads and that slip plane on the inside. For those of you considering your first dirt helmet, this is definitely going to be a new contender on the market. Now there's a lot of folks out there that are already utilizing the LS2 Subverter, and if you want to hear more about what they have to say, now would be the time to click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there banging this thing up off-road. If you want to talk to one of our gear geeks and discuss some other helmet options for you, you can always give them a shout, 877-792-9455, or simply shoot over an email to cs@RevZilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the LS2 Subverter helmet. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.